The CoinDesk Spotlight is brought to you by Nexo, the place to earn on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
So for over 35 years, Vast Bank has been a locally owned financial institution based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And today it is embracing crypto. It claims to be the first nationally chartered bank that will allow customers to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies directly from their bank accounts. Vast Bank CEO Brad Scrivner joins us now. Welcome, Brad.
Hey, Emily and Michael. Great to be on the show. Thanks for having me on.
Wonderful to have you. Okay, well, let's start with the biggest question here. You know, as I'm sure you know, Bitcoin was kind of invented to make banks irrelevant, basically. And it was sort of, to kill the intermediaries, so to speak. So the question is why do we need a bank at all to get involved with crypto? I mean, why can't people just sort of directly hold crypto and buy and sell it through exchanges? Why do we need a bank in the middle?
Well, that's a great question. And, we are all about customer preference, right? So if you think about this world of finance, we support DeFi. We're talking to folks that are in the DeFi world, but the fact is that there is a need for intermediary in many cases, okay? I mean, what do you do with elder abuse? What do you do with the fraudsters that are out there trying to take advantage of people? And that historically has been a place where intermediaries have stood in the gap. In addition, especially right now, at some point in time, perhaps DeFi will be able to get rid of intermediaries altogether. But at least right now in the United States, and we have a well-established framework of law. It creates certainty for institutions. It creates certainty for businesses. It creates certainty for those that want to take advantage of the financial services industry and to participate in it. So I think that the solution is for us to work together. And this is an opportunity as a bank. We are highly regulated. We are a national bank, which means that we have the ability to custody assets across all 50 states and territories. And so we are more than willing to work with those in the DeFi world to help navigate, to help work with regulators and make sure that we have a safe and sound environment for everybody to participate.
Hey, Brad, thanks for joining us. I'm going to guess that that's downtown Oklahoma City there behind you.
Actually,
am I correct?
It's Tulsa. Yeah.
Okay. So but you are, so the point I was trying to get to is you're an Oklahoma bank. I imagine that your client base is largely, from Oklahoma, and therefore, how does this strategy fit in with that? Is this something that allows you to essentially reach out to a wider audience? Obviously, the crypto marketplace is essentially global. What is the underlying sort of market strategy behind this with respect to you being a regional bank?
Yeah, so if you think about this, we actually have customers in all 50 states and in Puerto Rico. And so, with a digital banking footprint, like for example, we partnered with a fintech called Investor, right, in the second quarter. And they're sitting on top of our platform, and they have the ability to do equity and crypto and bank, all settling into the bank account side by side, all right? So here in the third quarter, we are launching the ability directly with the bank. And again, we get back to what customer preferences are, right? Some people are going to prefer to control things themselves, to take on all of those security components and be in the DeFi world. Some people are going to want to work with a fintech that is going to have a value proposition that speaks to them. In the case of Investor, that's where social and education and finance meets. Okay, some people are going to want to work directly with the national bank and have us custody those assets. So for us, it's all about listening to the customer and trying to help them achieve and come alongside of what it is that they're trying to do. So That's the larger strategy for us. And again, this is a very large world. Let's 10, 20 years from now, let's fight over things and, like the financial institutions do today. Today, we need to be working together. We need to put the customer interests first, and we need to figure out how to solve these problems as an industry to make things transparent, private, to reduce costs, and to make it more convenient for our customers.
So just to follow up on that point, can you just talk a little bit about how this came about? Like, was this something that customers were really clamoring for, or was it more kind of on the banking side, like this was a way for the bank to make more revenue?
Yeah, well, coming out of the downturn, right? I mean, let's kind of start there, and we're not going to do a big history lesson, but obviously, the financial services industry has a very large defensive moat. Coming out of the downturn, there was a chink in that armor, and you had people that were doubted, or lacked some trust that was going on. And simultaneously with that, you had more power being put in the hands of customers, and with Amazon or Netflix or whatever the case may be, with those experiences that are being delivered. And the technology enabled those things, right? So you had all of these different factors that were coming together. We are a family-owned bank, the Bielkini family in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so, they didn't want to sell the bank. So as CEO, I'm a steward, right? We try and accomplish what our shareholders want us to be doing. And so we recognized that there was a tremendous threat that was going on in the industry because of the factors that I just mentioned. And we made decisions starting about 5 years ago. Sorry, my lights, the lights are going off here in my office, didn't move fast enough. But anyway, so we started decisions about 5 years ago to put in place an underlying technology platform with SAP, which allowed us to be able to look at customer preferences and be able to stay relevant as they changed. So that's the underlying platform, those decisions that really started in 2016. We started implementing the SAP platform in 2018, and we knew that blockchain and cryptocurrency as a use case, now we were looking at trade finance and things like that. I thought that might be the first use case, but when Mr. Brooks came out with the announcement about national banks and being able to custody assets, I believe it was last July, we were able to pivot along with one of our fintech partners, and which led to us doing the first transaction in January, the fintech partnership in the second quarter, and then now with our direct offering here in the third quarter. And I'm going to try and wave my arms a little bit here to bring the lights back on. Sorry about that.
Those dance moves going.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, you'd be well aware that we've got some crypto native startups that actually themselves have now sought out bank charters, predominantly through state charters. You've got the Wyoming banks of Kraken and Avanti. Now, Avanti in particular have done so for the purposes of giving them what looks like the security of issuing a stable coin to really sort of stand up that as a trusted entity. How are you different from that? I mean, and are you at all interested in going down the stablecoin route as something to offer?
Well, we've launched with 8 cryptocurrencies, okay? And going back to the SAP platform, it's a multi-currency platform, right? So we can take a look at multiple coins, and we will go through legal review, we will look at customer demand, and we will, we're really interested in not getting into the security world that's going on with that. But yes, of course, we'll be looking at stable coins. Now, I want to reiterate, we're a national bank. We are highly regulated. We are going to continue to do things in a safe and sound manner. We're going to do the appropriate due diligence before we do those things. But assuming that stable coins check all of those boxes, we are more than willing to participate with those as well.